Welcome back, everyone, to the Forgotten City. We're in the midst of a conversation with the Forgotten Ruler, or the Golden Ruler. I forget his name, but here we are. We're talking to Charon, the ferryman, or the ferry woman. I'm from the future.
If that is true, then I sense the intervention of someone powerful.
How did you come to be in this time, mortal? Who brought you here?
He cannot know.
I was hoping you could tell me.
I do not know. My kin departed long ago, and Proserpine has slumbered for 3,000 years.
Since you know this as the god of the underworld.
Tread lightly, mortal. Enough of this. It seems I will need to put your reckoning on hold for now. But answer this. Why have you come here? What is it you seek?
I'd like you to put an end to the Golden Rule.
Your hubris is amusing, so I will allow you to make your case. But I warn you, if you anger me or waste my time with lies or wrong-headed arguments, you face death here. So, tell me, why should I put an end to the so-called Golden Rule?
The Golden Rule is corrupting the city and ensuring you'll never win the wager.
How so? And be specific. You have made a grave allegation, and I expect you to back it up.
About the Malleolus thing.
His cruelty does seem to grow greater by the day.
Rufus has become so paranoid that he's jumping at shadows, like Virgil's sexuality.
He is a volatile and confused fellow, that one.
And Decius is price gouging for life-saving medicine because he knows nobody can take it by force.
True. I have witnessed him doing that.
That's all I can think of.
Pathetic. You will need to do a lot better than that.
How can you expect us to live without sin if you can't do it yourself?
That is a very serious accusation, mortal. What sin have I committed? What evidence do you have to support it?
You've given terrible punishments to hundreds of people.
Every one of those people was guilty of failing to ensure their peers lived virtuously. They failed collectively, and so they were punished collectively. The Romans understand this, as did the Greeks before them. Ah, but I am a god, and you are a mortal. Why would you expect me to treat you as I treat my own kind? You are not a peer. You are not a respected equal. Let me ask you this. Do you treat insects as you wish to be treated?
No.
Do you care for their well-being as you would your fellow man? Do you ensure they have food and shelter and protection from predators? Do you give them rights?
No.
Of course not. Because that would be absurd, just as it would be absurd for me to treat your kind as equals.
Your kind and mine can't be so different, given that you're in love with one of us. What?
My love for her does not mean I am not superior, now that she is mortal.
That sounds arrogant. Perhaps you're not as different from humans as you think.
Bah! For a moment I thought you might have been building to a point. But I see now you are just a hubristic little creature.
You trap people in this city?
These people were all dead when my servant found them. I gave them a second chance at life. Would you prefer to have simply ceased to exist?
Maybe?
Then you still have the option to end your life should you wish, and you are no worse off than if I had not intervened. Accordingly, I reject your argument.
Didn't you abduct Proserpine and imprison her here?
I am well aware of the story told by the Greeks and Romans of my so-called abduction. It is entirely unfair. My love was dying, and I intervened the only way I could to save her life. What would you have done?
But didn't she choose to die?
It was an act of rebellion against the others. She knew I would have to act to save her, and I did because I loved her. I love her still. Accordingly, I reject your argument.
Persephone doesn't love you.
Cannot know.
I see what you are doing. You are trying to undermine the one thing keeping me anchored here. You are playing a dangerous game.
My apologies.
You have no idea how close you just came to eternal torment, mortal. You will need to do better than that.
So apparently I'm not ready, because anything I say here will not get me anywhere. Where I'm from, collective punishment is considered one of the most egregious crimes.
How unfortunate that we are not where you are from.
Enough. I'm going to end this.
Do you really think you can wound me, a god, with that primitive weapon?
You said you may be immortal, but your beloved isn't.
How dare you threaten her? This ends now.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
One will suffer eternal torment for this.
Did I get the wing? And I died.
Many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
You vile, despicable creature.
We're making our way back inside of the Great Temple to show that we have Persephone's crown. Maybe that will get him to end the golden rule. Hey, you.
And here you are.
Yes, we
Allow
are.
me to introduce myself.
I already know
Known
you
to
are.
the Sumerians.
See this? It's Prosperpina's crown. Throw it.
I would recognize that anywhere. And yet my beloved still wears hers. What is this? How did you come by it?
I took it from her after I killed her in another timeline.
You vile, despicable creature. Why would you do such a thing? And worse still, boast about it.
Because I can easily go back. I didn't want to kill her, but if you don't put an end to the golden rule, I would do it again. I could do this all day in the golden rule, or I will. I didn't want to do it, but if you don't put an end to it, I'll do it again.
You have put me in an impossible position. If I refuse, you will murder her. And yet, if I agree, I will lose my wager and return to Elysium, humiliated and alone.
Well, what's it going to be?
I do not see that I have a choice in this. Your treachery and savagery have opened my eyes like nothing I have witnessed in 3,000 years. And now you have shown me your species' true colors. And I see that Persephone was a fool to have ever believed in you at all. This has gone on too long.
Yes.
It is time
Psycho
for me to
achievement.
let go of this form of her, of all of you. But know this, if I abandon the wager and leave for Elysium, neither she nor your kind may ever ascend.
Why can't we go? We just want to return to the world.
Very well. I will have Caron make arrangements to ferry the others. But as for you, be aware you will be separated from the rest.
Why?
Once this exodus begins, the events that brought you to this moment will never have taken place, and you will have created a paradox. What will become of you is difficult to predict, but that is the risk you have taken by interfering in the natural flow of time. Now, are you ready?
I'm ready.
You had best pray our paths never cross again, mortal.
End it. And we're going back. We completed the Herculean task. And got that time paradox yet again. And another ending. Hey. Our buddy Worth is in the house. I just want to see what's back here. Okay, nothing. Oh, this is shite now. This is the Great Temple. We were just back there.
Oh.
Hey.
Hi there.
You must be
Getting a bit
blind.
afraid. Thought I was in here alone. I'm Al.
Al, I came to find you.
Well, here I am.
I'm a lady.
Oh, did that lady in the forest send you in here after me? I guess I
Yes.
lost track of time, learning about the history of this place, and it is extraordinary. I'm fairly certain you and I are the first people to set foot in this city for about 2,000 years. Fortunately for us, the last person in here was a Roman man named Galerius, who inscribed an account into a tablet. Apparently, there was
Galerius.
a community of 20-something people trapped in here, and living in fear of a curse they called the Golden Rule. They
Correct.
believed that if even one person sinned, an unknown god would cast them all into gold, like the 1,000 people who'd lived here before them. Then, one day, just as Galerius had finished praying for a good harvest at the shrine of Proserpina, an oracle appeared and told him how to solve the ills of the city, like saving the life of a dying woman,
Nice.
foiling an assassination attempt,
Like
and
me.
so on. Meanwhile, the oracle walked up to the temple of the mysterious god, this one right here, and demanded an audience. And the doors just opened up to her.
I was the
Nobody knows
oracle.
what went on in there, but Galerius wrote the oracle must have been more persuasive than Odysseus, because the next thing he knew, the ground shook and the voice of that god rang out over the city. The many have suffered long enough. Unfortunately, Galerius' account just sort of stops after that, leaving a lot of questions unanswered. What became of him and the other people who lived here? What happened to all the golden statues? And did this mysterious oracle single-handedly undo the curse that had terrorized people for hundreds of years?
Actually, it was me.
What? Oh, I see. For a moment there, I thought you were serious. Anyway, I think I found a way out through the aqueduct that brought water into the city. Follow me.
Right behind you. And we did it. Ah. Return to the river. Gonna make this track again. Make sure no one's going in there.
I'm gonna pause here for a moment and make sure nobody else has ever lured into this temple.
All right.
You go on ahead.
All right, let's go on up ahead. Too bad we don't get to see the other people.
You're back. But you're alone. Does that mean you didn't find Al?
I found him. He'll be here in a moment.
What a relief. Thank you so much. I was beginning to think you'd both become trapped in there.
That's
Why
what you
don't
want.
tell me what you discovered while we wait?
I discovered you're not who you said you were. I remember meeting you 2,000 years ago.
Ah, I see. I thought you might. Well, now you know. I suppose you have questions.
Who are you?
You can just call me Caron, if you like.
Yes, I know.
I am sorry I was not completely honest.
What truth
That
is
you
that?
died, of course. You were dead when I brought you here. My role, as the servant of the god of the
Okay. How did I die?
Usually, most souls ask your...
I suppose not. I knew
A wise
I asked that
decision.
last time.
All you need to know is that you and Al died in possession of a sacred silver coin.
So special.
Perhaps you have heard the tales of the Greeks and Romans burying their dead with a coin in their mouths to pay the ferryman for passage across the river. Well, those stories contained a seed of truth, but not any coin would do. A long time ago, my master created 1,000 silver coins. My orders were simple. Whenever a person died in possession of a coin,
Locate and ferry
I was
him. Why?
That is a question you would have to ask him,
I already did.
if that were still possible, in light of the path you have chosen. I am just his servant. Only now, I find myself bereft of purpose. There is nobody else to ferry here.
Can you return us to the land of the living?
I see no point in keeping you here. But I have to ask one thing. That you keep this to yourself.
Look! Here comes Al now. Al! It's so good to see you. You were gone so long I thought I'd never see you again.
Kinda lost track of time in there. You wouldn't... And there was a tablet described...
Sounds like quite a story. You two
Yes,
are
we know.
exhausted. Why don't you hop in my boat and rest while I...
Sounds good to me.
And you? Are you ready to go home?
Alright, ferry us. One year later. Did we get it 1 year later? No, we didn't. Okay. Completely new here. What we got? Some kind of museum. Oh, this is Roman stuff. Who are you? Galerius?
Hey, you made
Ow.
it. It's great to see you again. After everything you've been through, I thought you might appreciate some good news. So after we got back to the real world, I started doing some research into the people mentioned in Galerius' tablet, and I found something strange. I'm sorry I've been so cryptic. I've been dying to tell you. I just really wanted you to see this for yourself.
I've been
Why
dying.
don't you head on down there? I'll catch up with you at the other end.
Right. Interesting. Oh, Galerius. Oh, this is them. He's with her now.
You're finally here. Remember me?
Galerius, what are you doing here?
It's a crazy story. After you disappeared, Caron appeared and told us she was returning us to the world. Even gave us some coins to help us start our lives over. Only, for some reason, she returned us to your world instead of ours. Anyway, I know we only ever had that one conversation, and I wasn't even sure if you'd remember me, but I wanted to say thanks for freeing us from the underworld and giving us a second chance at life.
Nice. What are you doing with yourself these days?
Oh, I used Caron's gift to buy a farm in Umbria.
Nice.
Got a villa on it too, with enough room for Dooley, of course.
Dooley's
It's hard
there.
work, but I sleep soundly every night. I'm finally my own man, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
So you're at Equitia now?
I know. I can't believe my luck either. But we're engaged and living together. We're planning to get married next spring. If you're going to be around, we'd love to see you there.
Count me in. It was good to see you again,
Of
Galerius.
course, there's a whole museum full of people waiting for a chance to thank you. So you better keep moving. We'll speak again soon, my friend.
Oh, yes.
Oh, hello.
The Oracle. Let me talk to you.
You're here. It's lovely to finally meet you. Galerius told me all about you.
You don't remember? Good to see you too.
So, You're the hero who somehow vanquished the last of the Roman gods. As I'm a priestess, you realize you've put me out of work. I'm just teasing. Actually, and it still feels a little sacrilegious to say this, I'm finding life after religion quite enjoyable.
What are you doing with yourself these days?
Galerius and I are engaged and expecting. We've just bought a lovely villa in the countryside with room for a large family, and Dooley too, of course. It feels like the world has just opened up for us. There's so much to learn, and so many more possibilities for our children than we ever imagined. We're just so thankful for what you did for us, for all of us.
Nice. It was good to see you again.
See you at the wedding, I hope.
Nice. So we're going to save it there, and we're going to pick it up next time with more of this. Catch you then. That must be Dooley.